Hi everyone, Caraspear here. So here's an updated PvP Awakening Maehwa guide for you. I assume we will cover everything for you to be able to pull the strings to make Awakening Maehwa work at its peak. Or so I hope. So here's the plan. We're going to go through gear, crystals, artifacts, skills to lock, RABAMS, skills that require attention, add-ons, UI cooldown slots, combos, gameplay, and how to play according to scenarios. I think that should cover everything you need to know to make Awakening Maehwa work in 2026. Okay guys, let's go through gears and crystals. I recommend going DR on Maehwa. Doesn't make sense to go evasion, it's just useless, doesn't work. You don't have evasion passives, you do, but they're shit. Just don't lose time. Go DR. Evasion is only to kick around with heavy evasion, but some people would slot in 2 accuracy crystals and you're just going to be deleted. So for DR, my main build, the one I use for Guild League, GVGs, 3v3s, 1v1s for the most part, is this one. So I put like artifacts DR, which are right here, Rigid Shield. Then I put this build, it's heavy DR, with Bitterness, Red Fang, HP, and Epic Crystals to mitigate, have more damage. If needed, you can slot in Accuracy. Camera you can replace with like Elcar, this one. But Accuracy, if you need, you can put the second one. Shouldn't be necessary, but you know, we never know. And for the case where you fight, you know, Valk, Guardian, Zerg, heavy DR classes, Nova as well, so it's like that. I usually swap to this and I replace the Addis with like another card and I put like accuracy here, 1 accuracy crystal or 2, it depends. You know, you put everything on the table, go 0 sustainability, no DR crystals or whatsoever, just like flip it and make sure to use harmony draughts with tenacity, AP house buff, Sarka statue or whatever you have. If you want to kick around, oh yeah, I forgot. If you put like full blast, oh, of course, put the blight set. Make sure you have all the AP you need to blast. And yeah, I was about to say, if you want to kick around on evasion, you run evasion crystals that I will show in a bit with those artifacts. So Centaurus build. Here's the evasion build that you use, 2 Harfias, 2 evasion crystals. You can remove one, remove both. If you feel like you have enough evasion against the guy you're fighting, which runs no accuracy. You can also swap those homes, put more AP, you know, like this, bam, bam, boom, 1 Karma, 2 Vipers, Olcas. This works perfectly well to kick around. But then again, I don't recommend running evasion. Now let's say you go capped. This is the artifacts set that I use. So Crocodile Tooth for, you know, down attack, extra damage, critical hits. And then the crystals, which is universal normally. Everybody uses that. And make sure you have better BSR crystals than I do. And of course, Asadal belts and necklace that you can buy on the central market. And yeah, that should be it for gears and crystals. Okay, so now we'll go through the skills that you need to log. Again, this is totally personal. I log those because they're utterly useless or they grief my gameplay in one way or another. First skill to log is Divider. It's completely useless. You're not going to use it. You can use it if you want to style around. Just like most of the skills that are locked in this video, actually. Same for Decapitation. If you want to style around, you keep it unlocked, but it's more of a griefing skill than anything. Typhoon. You want it locked because it's going to be like doing a flow animation after you float CC with absolute cover, which you don't want because it's just unprotected, just a loss of time as well. Dragon Claw, you don't want it. Same. It's going to do a weird lingering flow after Dragon Bite, which is completely unprotected. Same as Lunar Slash. You don't want those at all. And you can lock this. Retaliation, Decapitation, it's unprotected. Blunt kick, you can lock it. Makes no sense to use this, it's stiff, completely unprotected. Has no utility. The worst kick out of the 4 ones that you have here, and of course make sure you lock forward roll, because you don't want to be rolling around unnecessarily. You can also lock rage absorption and transfer. These are the skills I personally lock. Nothing in the Awakening kit. And yeah. Now for the RABAMS, these are the RABAMS that I use. I usually swap those ones according to how I feel like playing and the scenario that I'm playing in. When I'm in like small scale, you know, I like to have Maehwa's Will. When I'm doing 1v1s, I like having Crimson Gust for the extra chance to down smash. Since they remove down smashes from the Awakening kit, from you know, Petal Bloom, Moonlight Dash, and also Frost Flower Flow. Third hit, it's a bit more intricate to input more damage out of down smashes, so I like to have Crimson Gust because it still allows you to combo reset eventually if you manage to hit backstep slash down smash into Crimson Gust. It's a nice option. Then I use Blooming Step. You can use Blooming Stride as well. Both are valuable. It just depends on how you play, basically. I like Blooming Step because it's a lot of mobility. And for the third RABAM, Decapitating Cyclone, I don't think there's a debate here. You can use Decapitating Dragon for PvE, but I wouldn't recommend this in PvP. Makes no sense, not useful. Decap Cyclone has way more potential. It's like a float CC range with like an FG at the start animation, so yeah. I'm going to go through skills that require attention. So for the weaknesses first, I want you to pay attention to Evasion Stub Arrow. It has it's an iframe, but it has a gap at the end when it shoots the arrow, basically. There's this gap, which is not cancelable. You will get punished by good players on this. Decapitating Cyclone slash this one. There's a gap at the end. It goes from FG to unprotected stance that you cannot cancel. Look, this part you cannot cancel. You cannot do anything about it. It's going to be unprotected, so you need to be aware of it. Make sure you're always well positioned, and just use it whenever you feel like it's safe to use. You also have Ice Fang, Moonrise. Those skills, this combo specifically is really eager to get sped up if there's a lot of interaction, lots of skills that collide on you. You might get sped up, so you need to be aware of it. If you're going to go inside the blob and just use it when there's like 3,000 skills that are being used, do not be surprised if you get CC'd inside it. You low-key ask for it. Razor Blade Corolla as well, this skill will get sped up a lot of time. I got sped up in Razor Blade in AOS and stuff. Like, you don't even need a lot of people. All it takes is like, I don't know, one spin from Awakening Maehwa or anything that has like lots of ticks, and it's going to speed it up, so be aware of it. Slit Step as well, be surprised about it or not. You will get CC'd in Slit Step a lot out of skills. There's micro gaps, it's how the game is. Chase, there's something specific about it. So if you chase backwards, let's say I'm in the middle of this square, I stop around here, right? Now if you do chase from the front way, like this, you cover way more distance. See, I stopped here earlier, and I still had like extra, you know, cover distance by dashing forward. So you always want to make sure to dash forward rather than backward. Again, so you can see the difference. Yeah. It's kinda ill, I know. But it's intended to be like this on Maehwa, which is not the case on Musa. So if you need to dash backwards, make sure you turn camera and dash like this. Okay? So for the strength, Blind Thrust, this skill, it's not written literally in the skill description, but you can use it forward by pressing W, LMB and space at the same time, which is going to be like this. See? You can turn the camera 180 degree at the end of the animation to hit the back of FGs. You can literally go behind and punish it with stiff. So it's a really strong tool. It's one of my main CCs as well. When I see FGs that I can punish and I'm on the pre-awakening stance, I go for them. It usually works like 70% of the time. It's really convenient and reliable of a CC. Cover. This is a skill that you can use for movement. It's really underrated in my opinion. Like you can move around like this, cover, you know. So make sure you learn how to use cover for fast movement or fast CC rotation with Dragon Bite, just moving around. It also works for Succession Maehwa that I'll explain later in another guide that will be linked in the description. Now guys, we're going to go through add-ons. These are personal add-ons. You know, I use them universally, whether it's 1v1, small scale, and cap not worse. I just don't bother this much. But if you're in cap scenarios, you can think about adding special attack damage modifiers or bleeding. And again, add-ons are personal. This can be used as a foundation, but I recommend you all to record a VOD of your own playstyle and just set your add-ons according to the skills you use the most without, you know, neglecting add-ons tiers and durations, blah, blah, blah. So for the UI cooldown slots, guys, I like to keep my UI pretty clean. This is the structure of my UI. It's not anything special, to be honest. But yeah, I would say on Maehwa, you want to have a clean UI to have the most visibility on what's surrounding you. It's a lot of awareness because you're not fully protected ever. So you always need to make sure that you can see what's happening around. So I try to minimize the most like UI on my screen to also have the most FPS because it's a really heavy FPS class dependent. For skill cooldowns, I have that stubber row, oppression, slit step, chase, frost feint. Those three are iframe skills, so it's always nice to see whenever you have available iframes to dodge and have a strong neutral to avoid burst, damage, CCs, etc. Stubber row to make sure I have arrows available or not. And also it indicates that I have evasion stubber row in some ways. Oppression for, well, I would say it's my main CC. I use it the most and it's always nice for me to have it on my screen because then I know that at this moment when the oppression is off cooldown, I can play aggressive and go for a play, basically. Yes, for movement, to move around as Awakening Maehwa is not too intricate, but it all boils down to practice and habits, just spamming skills. AFK in town, whatsoever, whenever you have time, just try to figure out what's connecting into what in like a flowy way. There's many skills like chase, RMB of course, frost feint, sit step, ice fang, C swap, backstep slash, grapple row, blooming step. You got petal drill as well. You also have evasion grapple row like this, and once you figure out something that's comfortable, when you get used to all the skills, this should be what it looks like. In a nutshell, to be honest, that's just an example. It's not perfect, but I think you can inspire yourself out of this pretty well. Yes, for combos, on Awakening Maehwa, it's really freestyle. Like a lot of it just boils down to your knowledge about CC types on each of the skills that you have on cooldown or off cooldown. You just need to make sure that you don't insta-cap CCs. For that, I would recommend you to just try every skills on dummies over there, just see how they work, etc. I will put my combos in the description with the inputs, so you guys can have like an easier time comboing. But so far, this is how it looks like. This is basically with like APDP lowered, AP lowered. Blaze is like a full AP Musa. Pretty much hard cap, yeah. So as you can see, it does deal good damage with the build that I have right now. So anything that is like no war blast build will melt the guy. Now if you're in large scale and you want like a full protected combo, or you know, large scale, small scale, doesn't matter. What you can do is this. Basically, and then you can also cloud stab at the end of Chain Moonrise. Obviously, you can do all this combo stationary like this, just freestyle around like that, you know. But the best thing to do is to just trigger a sequence of skill, reposition with Chase or Frost Feint, Slit Step, and then proceed to the other SS skill. So something like this, then this, you know. Just play around, rotate, reposition every time, make sure that you're not like stationary and that you don't get SS traded, blasted for no absolute reason. It's really important. But yeah, otherwise you have plenty other combos that you can find out, you know. It's just a lot of freestyle on Awakening Maehwa, and you will get used to it. So when it comes to the gameplay and how to play Maehwa, for that the best thing I'd suggest you guys to do is watch Twitch VODs, my montages or iOS videos of you know, other creators or even myself. In my case, they're all raw footages with comments, etc. So you get to learn what to call, how to play, etc. I believe you got all the tools to understand what's happening from my end in the videos or VODs. I don't say you need to do or say the same things as I do, but I believe they're like a really solid foundation for you guys to learn from. I want you guys to keep in mind this acronym or piece of advice. It's ISS. So I for inform, because you need to take information, understand the situation. S, survive, because the blader doesn't survive. And then it's just like, you know, useless and better off reroll classes. Another S for Seize, because the blader's role is to capitalize and bring the damage on the table as much as the CC potential. So like in a 1v1 scenario, it's pretty straightforward. You know, you see what your opponent does, which skill he used, grabs, iframes, E-buffs, Z-buffs, SA buffs, PA, magic shields, freezes, blah blah. It's all about, you know, matchup knowledge and reactivity at that point. In the 3v3 scenario, it starts becoming more intricate. You need to play off your teammates. Note what your teammates do. If they E-buff, Z-buff, need stamina, need to chill out for HP. If they PA, vacuum, SA buff or anything like that, and take advantage of it. But careful, you also need to do this for the opposing team. Check on their E, Z buffs using long range skills or quick melee SA skills that will allow you to see their, you know, HP bar with buffs below. Or you can even visually see the animations they use, you know. Ultimately, you want to find a way to counter it. So sometimes it's best not to fight at all and kite, waiting for cooldowns to run off as you die standing. If you know that they have E buff and Z buff, is it really worth to fight? I don't think so. But it all depends again on your team, the situation you are in. You need to know that in 3v3 scenarios, you depend on your team more than anything. Some comps are obviously unwinnable on the paper, but mistakes can be made and you need to capitalize on them. Communicate with your team your needs. You will run out of stamina, so call it before it actually happens. Same if you're low HP or about to get asset traded, or if you're focused, if you're being focused. It's something you actually feel preemptively, so pull the best out of it, out of your game sense that you developed. In large scale, you need to see the whole picture. Play with main red or flex, the structure is generally the same. Your main red fights opponent main red, right? So flex is supporting main red, flanking or doing side objectives. But I will focus on the main red fights and how to approach it. So first of all, if you're always in the front line, going first, you're most likely doing something wrong. You'll get like a massive CC, you will flip few of them. It's not a bad thing. It's good if it's well tuned with main red and you call your brain gauge and then you get a massive wipe. Most of the time, if you play against human beings, that doesn't happen. So what you're gonna do is like take information, wait for your main red to call for a push the side flanks out of render distance, and wait for a few kills to be confirmed. Why? Because that means damage has been done. You have more chances to find people that are half HP, wounded, and are going to dive out to recover, so that will already isolate duels. You're mostly looking at ranged targets like Archer, Ranger, Sukmegus, classes that are squishy and that you're confident in taking the fight upon. And once you've managed to clear a few of them, do not overcommit and do not go too deep in the enemy side. Else you will not manage to get out and make it back alive. Again, staying alive is like super important to maximize your efficiency, not only on KDA but also for your main red to be consistent. That applies for every player regardless of their classes. I think these are the best pieces of advice I can give you. It's a lot of game sense and macro, and a lot of theory. Specifically, the practice comes down to you watching VODs, practicing, rewatching VODs of your own gameplay, which is really important to improve. I think that's the best way to actually improve on a personal plan. You record your Node Wars, you record your iOS games, GVGs, and you rewatch them with your guildmates, friends you play with, and you just like, you know, VOD review everything together or on your own. Note mistakes and try not to do them again. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I wanted to keep the guide concise. I hope you guys had or understood everything you needed to know to make the class work at its best. Now, cards are in your hands. If you have any question, feel free to come on my live streams on Twitch. I will put the link in my description. And you can also reach out to me on my Discord, Spear. Small note, I also made a Succession Maehwa guide in the same format as this one. The link will be in the description as well. So if you're interested in Succession Maehwa, feel free to check it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Feel free to let me know what you think about it in the comments, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.